at 8-5. Chris Kidd here with you, high above at Willie Acres Arena. Next to me, Danny Kidd here this evening with Joe Mounts, our engineer, Aaron Stone, our cameraman. And Danny, it's nice having you back, and I get to get away with calling you Danny for the next couple of hours since we're on the air. Again, this is my father, if everyone remembers from football season and several broadcasts in the past. So it's nice to have you on with Logan basketball tonight.
Well, I believe in my luminous past of announcing, which I think has been 4 games up to now. This is probably the first time I've done a Logan basketball game from here, and it's quite a privilege and an honor. And I think we're going to have a fun time here tonight with this game. It looks like a good one, and of course Logan had a tough loss last night, a very tough loss, and after 8 straight wins. It was a hard way to go down to lose on a 3-pointer at the buzzer in overtime, but in a game where they only trailed twice, and unfortunately the final buzzer was one of those times. But this is bounce back night. Let's see what they've got, what kind of fortitude they've built up with their 8 straight wins.
Yeah, and that was perfectly said, because Wesley Christian last night, they're an academy team out of Allen, Kentucky. Logan led the entire way, only trailed at 31-28, and then as the buzzer sounded in overtime. And tough loss for Logan in the fact that they controlled the game, but they definitely had the lead all the way through. Biggest lead was only 7 points throughout. And where it got Logan at the end of that game last night seemed to be at the foul line. Again, Logan only missed 1 free throw going into the fourth quarter. They were 18 of 24 overall, but 5 of their 6 misses came in the fourth quarter and in overtime, which proved to be a bit of the difference, albeit, though, against an extremely good Wesley Christian team. So I think Zach Green comes out of last night with many more positives than he has negatives, because Logan was severely outsized in that game. Rebounded by only 12 at the end, but they were right there with them throughout. So despite the fact that Logan was severely outsized and did have those hiccups at the line late, which can happen with younger teams, I think a very positive outcome for him, considering that Wesley Christian team had gone through and has dominated a lot of their opponents this year.
Oh, anytime you lose a close game in particular, Chris, you have a lot of what-ifs. And obviously one foul shot can make all the difference in the outcome. But the main thing for Logan is, did you learn from it? Did you learn anything from this loss? This isn't the tournament yet. You're not quite there, even though seeding's important. But still, if you've learned something from it, if you got educated a little bit in basketball because of it, then a loss doesn't hurt sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And tonight, you get your chance. Well, you've seen David Early, but you get your chance to be here and talk about him live on the radio here this evening. And Early hit a huge accomplishment and milestone on Tuesday night. Again, it's been a really tight week for the Wildcats. They lost at the buzzer last night. They won at the buzzer on Tuesday night against Mingo Central whenever Early hit a spinning layup at the end. But he also passed Paul Herbert Williamson for the all-time leading scorer in Logan High School history with 1,929 points for his career thus far. Very likely going to hit 2,000 probably on Tuesday night against Chapmanville, the way things are shaping up. Had 33 last night, which inches him closer to that. With a huge game here tonight, could get it this evening. But, with David Early, you've seen Logan High basketball going back to the 70s. Whenever you started watching and following Logan very closely, you've seen Early's game. How does he stack up against the Logan greats from what you've seen?
Early reminds me quite a bit of Emil Boatwright, who played for Logan High in 1975 and 1976, made first team All-State in 76, carried us to the semifinals when Logan had with the number 1 team in the state, as a matter of fact, and got upset by Charleston High in that semifinal in Charleston. Yep. But Emil was a great all-around player. He could rebound, he could handle the ball, he could score. He had a nice shot. He scored inside, and he was a clutch player. Emil was a tremendous clutch player, and his game is very reminiscent of what Boatwright brought to the court, and that's a heavy compliment, because I have a little Mount Rushmore, as I just like to say on ESPN all the time now, the Mount Rushmore sports, and he would be on my Mount Rushmore of Logan High players. And in this another quick comment I might elaborate later, he passed Williamson on the all-time list, and remember, Williamson passed Mark Hatcher. Yeah. And great Mark Hatcher, so we might talk about him a little bit later, but that's quite a list of players, just those 3 alone.
Yeah, and it'd been interesting to see where Mark would have ended up had he had 4 years in a three-point line.
It would have been uncatchable. It would have been unattainable, I can tell you that now. I saw him play too much, and it's a different game now, but it's an exciting game, and Mr. Early is he's one of a kind.
Well, this is why we've got Danny Kidd here tonight, folks. It's Lock Trap with Logan High School history, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that throughout the broadcast here this evening. Well, right now we're going to step aside for our first break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about Logan's opponent tonight, the Parkersburg Catholic Crusaders, as they've been sliding this week. It's been a difficult week overall. We'll talk about that whenever we come back, as you are listening to and watching Logan High School basketball with us right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
Tanya Crubb, Director of Acute Inpatient Rehab, Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Wright, surgical podiatrist from Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
I'm Romel Mitchell, Executive Secretary, Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Thank you for trusting your care at
Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Drive home in a show-worthy vehicle with Thornhill and a new Buick, featuring new auto show cash available on select models. That's over $7,000 off 2019 Buick Encore, over $8,000 off 2019 Regal Touareg Sport Wagon, and over $9,000 off 2019 Buick Envision.
Kinzel Law Office is a local firm located at 36 Adams Street in Chapmanville. Rob Kinzel has been practicing law in Logan County for over 15 years and is dedicated to providing quality legal representation for personal injury, criminal defense, and family law for individuals and families throughout southern West Virginia. Call Kinzel Law Office today to set up your free consultation. Rob Kinzel, quality legal services close to home.
Go full speed into 2020 with Thornhill and save thousands on every new Chevy. $5,800 off 2019 Impala, $6,600 off 2019 Camaro, 2019 Track $7,100 off, and 2019 Blazer $7,600 off with auto show cash.
House, so that causes me problems.
And I said, those guys, whenever they get ready to introduce the players, they shut out the lights right there, so we'll just kind of scoot to the side.
Okay.
Welcome back, everybody. Chris Kidd here with you, alongside me, Danny Kidd, as we are getting set for Logan versus Parkersburg Catholic coming up here in less than 5 minutes. Well, Danny, they take on Parkersburg Catholic tonight. They started the week 8-2 and tied for 5th in Class Single A, and it's just been a nightmare of a week for Parkersburg Catholic. Again, they've lost 3 games, and they've lost against very good competition. They lost twice to number 1 Williamstown, lost to number 4 Willing Central, but then lost 62-49 on Tuesday night to St. Mary's, then fell last night to Tug Valley 41-35 in a tightly contested game. This is a very solid Parkersburg Catholic club, but right now they lose tonight. They're looking at 4 in a row losses. They could be sliding right out of the top 10 in Class Single A.
And that is a very, very unusual thing for this program, Chris. You know, they've had a winning seasons 13 out of 14 years. Mm-hmm. And last year they made it to the finals.
Yep.
and got beat. They lost 47-40 Webster County in something of an upset. So they're what you might call an elite program in our state, and have been consistent over the years, but they've always hit a slump, and it's something that teams go through sometimes, no matter what their record, what their abilities are, and apparently they have hit that slump this week.
Yeah, and they've got some good wins under their belt, too. You know, they beat AAA Ripley 49-47 in overtime, beat number 10 Notre Dame by 2 earlier this year. They incidentally host them on Monday night whenever they get back to Parkersburg. But, you know, as you mentioned, an elite program, 13 out of 14 winning seasons, 4 straight winning seasons in that span, and then the 28 mark last year. Beat Notre Dame, beat Willing Central to get to the state finals before, as you mentioned, losing to Webster County, who ended up going undefeated last year. So no small task trying to knock off that senior-laden, experienced Webster County club. But, you know, they've won several state titles in school history as well at Parkersburg Catholic, I believe 2 overall. And Rob Stracula, the head coach for Parkersburg Catholic, in his 8th year as the head coach and his 15th year at the school overall. So you know that this is going to be a tall task for them, trying to take on this vaunted Logan program and this Logan team that's played so well this year. But you feel like he maybe didn't get the effort he wanted last night out of his team against Tug Valley on that long trip down here. It'll be interesting to see how they rebound this evening.
Yeah, again, their story is just like Logan's right now, you know, having to bounce back. And the ball bounces a lot of different ways, but teams bounce too. Which way do you bounce when these things happen? And they're in a lull right now, but still a very dangerous team. Logan had better bring their A game tonight.
Yeah, sadly, we both bounce as well now, but not for the right reasons.
So true.
But yeah, you can see on the court right now, Danny and I are looking down. Looks like everyone getting in position for the player introductions on both sides. Again, Logan will enter here momentarily, but Parkersburg Catholic huddled up as we're under 30 seconds to go on the clock. But I went through looking for the history between these two. Well, there is none. At least not as recently as 2006. That's as far back as we can dig sometimes into the archives online. But yeah, I mean, ever since 2006, these two have not met up with each other or seen each other in action. So it'll be interesting to see how they match up, considering these are two programs you typically don't see a whole lot of matchup-wise. It's nice that they were able to come down here and take part in this King Cole Classic for the last 2 days.
Well, and it's probably a good experience for them too. And even if, say, they lose tonight, they were able to get in this kind of situation and play this type of game, and it'll be interesting to see how they respond.
And Parkersburg Catholic, for everyone with us out on Radio Land and WVOW 101.9, Parkersburg Catholic wearing their Carolina blue shorts and shirts here this evening with darker blue trim down the side. Logan appears as if, as the lights have just gone out here, Logan will be in their all-white uniforms with blue Logan written across the chest, as in the starting lineup for Parkersburg Catholic this evening. It'll be 5'11" junior Xavier Colley, followed by senior Patrick Copen. Then you have 6'1" senior Jalen Bruni, 6'4" junior Ethan Lang, and rounding out the starting lineup will be 5'11" senior Jeb Boyce for Parkersburg Catholic. On the other end for Logan, it'll be a similar lineup, similar starting five as they've had the last several games. It'll be 6'4" senior David Early, averaging 26.8 points per game, and as we mentioned, had those 33 points last night against Wesley Christian. Then you have Mitchell Hayner, a 6'5" junior, followed by Jaron Glick, a 6-foot sophomore, then 6-foot senior Noah Cook, and 6'1" freshman Garrett Williamson. And for Logan, too, as well, Danny, we talked about it a little bit before we came on. A lot of people were counting Logan out earlier on this year because, specifically they thought they wouldn't have David Early, who was gone to Beckley Prep. But since then, transfers back. But even then, they said, well, it's a young team. They're not going to have enough to be able to support David Early's talent. People forgot. A lot of these guys that are freshmen and sophomores, they either played on that Little League State Championship team 3 years ago, or they were on the football team and the basketball team that won conference championships and dominated the ranks all through their middle school years. There's something to be said about winning at every level, and whenever you step up to the high school level, if you've been used to winning, you don't count on starting to lose now. And I think you've seen that confidence is irradiated from this young group, and it's really been a big boost for Logan, considering some of the players they had in years past didn't have that success. So I think it's a different type of mindset with this younger group as opposed to what they've had before.
Well, when you have winning in your DNA, it tends to come out. And it comes out no matter what you're competing in, no matter what sports you're in, no matter what situation you're in life. And like you said, these kids have a winning background. And they come out on this court, they're representing Logan High basketball. Logan High with a tremendous tradition in this state, and they take pride in that. And it all combines to make the team different. And, I've seen in the past where there have been Logan teams who are expected to win state championships and failed to do so, and the next year came back not expected to win state championships and did so. So you never know what a team's got in them. And you've got to remember, Logan beat Chapmanville. Chapmanville is one of the elite programs in this state. A wonderful program, great what they've been doing. But for Logan to do that tells you that DNA is there.
And if you're with us on Video Productions, we'll be down there. I'll be down there after this game helping James Barker with Chapmanville and Winfield. And boy, oh boy, I tell you what, Tuesday night on WVOW, Danny. I said Logan and Chapmanville Part 2, especially with Logan winning that first matchup. Chapmanville is going to be the hub of the high school universe on Tuesday night.
Absolutely, it's coming. It's going to be a good one.
Now we're set to jump it up center circle as it'll be Copen against Early, and Early controls the tip as we're glad you're with us here tonight on WVOW as Logan going left to right across your computer screen and radio dial. Parkersburg Catholic right to left as Hayner goes to work down low immediately. Turnaround shot off the mark and rebounded underneath by Boyce. As Catholic will work it up the floor. We'll see how deliberate they want to be in their pace tonight. Again, with Tug Valley yesterday, it was more of a deliberate slow-down game on both ends. They get it left side, 3 on the way, off the mark for Boyce, and rebounded underneath by Williamson. They'll kick it up ahead to Glick. Glick pull-up jumper from the right side, short. Rebound taken away by the Crusaders, as carrying it away was Ethan Lane. Now Parkersburg Catholic quick up the floor. Logan able to get back in transition. Something Logan's been able to do effectively in most of these games, in limiting their opponents just 58 points per game. So get it to Boyce, now up top. Lang holds it and waits. Now we'll kick it back over for Copen. He'll drive in, puts up a floater, may have been deflected as it's way off the mark, and rebound taken away by Williamson. No score yet here, it's 1 minute gone. Early, pump fakes on the right wing. We'll give it back up top for Williamson. Now over to Hayner. Hayner dribbles in, had it stripped away, may have been knocked off of Hayner, but no, they say last touch by Copen, so it'll stay with the Wildcats.
A lot of action so far, no points yet.
So now here comes Williamson. He'll trigger it in from underneath his own basket. As Logan going towards the basket where the stage is, as they get it over to Early off a screen, takes the 3, off the back rim, no good. Tipped out by Cook, but into the hands of Parkersburg Catholic as Bruni has it. Crusaders cross the timeline. Still no score here as we're 1.5 minutes deep into the first quarter. Up top, Boyce gets it over left side for Copen. Copen behind his back, goes in on Early, now kicks it out left side for Cawley. Xavier Cawley, baseline jumper, over the rim, no good. We get a whistle and a tie-up, and the possession will stay with Parkersburg Catholic. And right now, Parkersburg Catholic just nowhere near the rim on these shots, Danny.
That was a floater from the baseline, and it's a very difficult shot even on a pro level.
I say that as if I'm knocking him down every other day. Pass inside, knocked away by Williamson and taken by the freshman. He'll bring it up the floor. Parkersburg Catholic gets back. Now to Early, dribbles into the center, had it poked away but fouled on the way to the basket. They'll say it's on the floor, so that'll be the first team foul of the game on either side. And actually they're going to call it a shooting foul, so Early will go to the line.
It was a very aggressive move down the lane, Chris. I mean, he if anybody would have took a charge, they would have took a charge there because he was coming full freight train on that one.
I was going to say, you see David Early standing in your way. Sometimes you just need to make a business decision and get the heck out of there.
Well, he plays football for a pastime too, so there you go.
Well, he hits the first free throw for the first points of the game, and Early sinks the second as well. And again, first team All-State last year, led the Cardinal Conference in scoring each of the last 2 years. And committed to Marshall verbally this past week. So, yes. It's joked about last night, it's becoming the Logan County herd up in Huntington right now.
Yeah, that's what we've noticed. Not a bad thing.
Oh, I know. It definitely boosts the sales of tickets as Logan County heads up there. As Boyce drives in, kicks it over to Cawley, and Cawley with an easy layup on the left side as the Crusaders get on the board. Logan quickly the other way. Cook, corner 3, rims in and out, no good, and rebound comes down to Parkersburg Catholic as Copen pushes it up the floor. Parkersburg Catholic looking to run more than they did last night. Again, I think they know it's going to be hard whenever Logan gets into their half-court defense to try and find openings, so they're trying to attack as quick as they can as Boyce puts Cook down, but then is rejected by Early as he spun into the paint. Now Early up the floor, steps back, fadeaway 3 left side, misses it short as it looked like he never really gathered it in his hands, and rebounded by Lane. There's some good looks out there, Chris. The shots just aren't dropping yet. So we're down to 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. And I agree, both sides have gotten some pretty good looks. So again, maybe some tired legs from last night. It's a nice drive on the left side, taken in by Copen, and he'll lay it in to give Parkersburg Catholic the lead. So 4-2 Crusaders as Early drives right baseline, knocked away underneath by Bruni and taken back by the Crusaders. They're really collapsing well on Early here. Mm-hmm. He's off to a little bit of a slow start. And they're going to have to watch this baseline on Catholic because they already took it in twice in a row, and it's a wide open baseline, Chris. Yeah, we noticed that last night late in the game with Wesley Christian. So we'll see how Logan chooses to defend that as Cawley drives in. He gets a step and puts it up on Glick and banks it in. So Cawley with 4 points, and Parkersburg Catholic leads at 6-2. So now Logan, after that overtime game last night, again coming back less than 22 hours later, to face another top 5 team in the state in single A this time. So now how will they respond as Williamson puts up a floater in the lane, and Garrett Williamson with his first bucket. Nice little teardrop layup there. And Williamson, he had 9 in that win over Chapmanville. Had 6 last night against Wesley Christian, so he's a freshman that can add production in this starting lineup. 6-4, the Crusaders lead it. 3:40 to go in the first quarter. On the right wing, Gives it off to Lang, almost threw it away, but there to corral it was Copen. Back out front for Lang. He'll dribble over to the right side, gives it off to Boyce. Boyce drives in on Cook. Whistle and a blocking foul on Noah Cook.
Always the call that will bring the Boo Birds out if it doesn't go your way. It's a tough call, but probably the correct call.
Yeah, again, it was a delayed call. I think a lot of fans thought maybe the charge was coming that time, but Cook, they say, was moving with Boyce and never got ahead of him or got in position enough. So Boyce at the line. First free throw, rolls off the front rim, no good. And Boyce, another one, Danny, he can get hot in a hurry. He had 22 against Willing Central. Then in the game against Tyler Consolidated, nearly had a triple-double, had 17 points, 10 steals, and 8 assists in that game. You don't normally hear 10 steals.
10 steals, my goodness. That is impressive.
I think that was my career. Boyce misses on the second free throw as well and rebounded by Williamson. So a chance for Logan to tie or take the lead on this trip as they trail at 6-4. Williamson dribbles inside the paint, about the same spot, gets the same result as he floats it in again.
Absolutely, one of the toughest shots to make is that little floater in the lane, and if you've got the touch and it's there, it's almost automatic.
Now we're all even at 6 apiece as Logan has scored the last 2 buckets. Boyce at the free throw line, gives it over to Copen, fading jumper, rims in and out, no good, and taken by Early. Early into the front court. Parkersburg Catholic trying to get back, but Early gets the jab step inside, and he lays it in with the left hand.
That was magic. That's all I can say. Magical shot right there.
He does. He gets just those big, long strides and able to get to the basket there with that Euro step. And now it's a 6-0 Logan run as they've taken the lead back. Left wing 3 on the way, no good, short. For Stephen Garvin has just checked in. Now over to Early on the rebound. Finds Hayner on the right baseline. Pull-up shot, and Mitchell Hayner gets it to go. It's an 8-0 Logan run, and a timeout now called by Parkersburg Catholic, a 30-second timeout. So we'll keep things here as Zach Green's club now out in front by 4 after trailing by 4. And it seems like now Logan's legs have kind of settled into this game, and they've been able to penetrate is what's been key here. The last 8 points have come from right inside the paint and right around the rim.
And on the defensive end, Early had the block, and also he's taking control of the boards right now. He's getting the rebound, pushing it up, making some things happen for the other guys on the team. So one thing you mentioned was possible fatigue factor from last night, and that can be the case even with young kids. But, again, they're young kids. I know if I had to play last night, I wouldn't be able to walk today. So but these are kids. They're conditioned. They're well-conditioned. And Logan looks good right now. They look good.
And also, it also prepares you for that possible state tournament atmosphere where you may have to play back-to-back depending on the structure of it.
That's right.
So a lot of coaches love to get these back-to-backs in just to get their teams used to it in the eventuality or the hopefulness that you'll be in
Charleston. Yeah, I'm not worried about load management here.
They get it over left side out of the timeout. Open is Garvin, and he'll bury the 3. So Stephen Garvin, the senior, ends the 8-0 run for Logan and cuts the lead down to 1. Over on the left side, Glick gets it too early at the top. Now over to Williamson. He'll drive right baseline, gets it to the left baseline. Now they skip it cross court to Hayner. Open for 3 from the right wing. It was on line but short.
Good ball movement on that possession.
That's something we've talked about this season as well. Logan's ball movement has been exceptional. Again, these kids will share the ball. Early has done a phenomenal job with that. Again, a lot of times early on in his career, it was a lot of one-on-one ball, but he's definitely shared the ball a lot more this year than he has early on in his freshman and sophomore years. A 3 way off the mark by Lang, but rebounded by Parkersburg Catholic. Over to Copen in the left corner, and he hits it from about the same spot Garvin just did, and a 6-0 spurt quickly by Parkersburg Catholic. Early out front, he looks to grab the lead back. 3 is good for David Early. He's got 7 points here in the first quarter.
Nice stroke on that one.
And he finally got a chance to set his feet and step into a 3, and that time you see what he can do when he's got time. 13-12, Logan leads it. 50 seconds to go in the first quarter. Inside, a reach-in foul going to be called here on Noah Cook. And that'll be number 2 on Cook. We saw him get in foul trouble last night, too. That'll draw Aiden Slack off the bench. Hayner will also go over to get a breather as Cameron Hensley steps in. Slack, a freshman. Hensley, a sophomore. And Hensley's been a valuable defensive asset coming into these games. He really did a terrific job against Chapmanville and even last night against Wesley Christian. As they get it out to Garvin. Left wing 3, this time off the mark. And Slack there to corral the rebound. Early quickly up the floor. Driving in as Williamson, got hit. Throws in the shot, count it, and one for Garrett Williamson.
That was a circus shot right there. Excellent concentration considering the fact that he almost tripped up, going sideways, flipped it up, and it went in.
I didn't think they were going to give him the and one there at first, Danny. I thought it was going to be on the floor, but they gave him the continuation. And free throw is good. Garrett Williamson with an explosive first quarter. He and Early both with 7 points. So it's back to a 4-point lead for Logan as they go full court pressure. Boyce has nowhere to go and has to burn a timeout with 23.9 seconds left in the first. And those little plays right there, Danny, go a long way at the end of the game because now Parkersburg Catholic out of 30-second timeouts already here in the first quarter. They're down to just 3 fulls, and if you can eliminate a timeout, that does a lot heading into the later stages of this game.
If you can play that backcourt pressure defense and stay out of foul trouble, keep yourself out of any of those situations, you will create havoc back there. And that's a prime example. The ball went in the corner, 2 men on him, he had nowhere to go. Immediately they have to call that timeout. And as you said, Chris, that can come back to bite you.
We're here at Willie Acres Arena, me and Danny Kidd. A hungry Joe Mounts as he's downing his lunch/dinner right now as well on the air. Aaron Stone over there texting everyone, letting them know we're on the air tonight.
I'm envious of this man. That meal looks awful good.
Now out of the timeout, Parkersburg Catholic perhaps may get the last look here of the first quarter as Logan leads at 16-12, down to 13 seconds. On the left side, Copeland gets it up top for Boyce, down to 7 seconds. Boyce over to Copeland with 5 seconds on the left side. Copeland looks for a screen. Slack comes out on him, down to 1 second. They may not get a shot off. It's heaved at the horn. No good for Boyce, and that'll end the first 8 minutes of play as Logan leads Parkersburg Catholic 16-12. We'll be back right after this as you are listening to and watching Logan Wildcat basketball action with us right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
Chris,
Drive home your new Mitsubishi for less with special pricing for everyone on remaining 2019 models. Get in with last call savings on brand new Mitsubishi models as low as $11,115, like this 2019 Mirage G4, over $8,000 in total savings.
Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services, founded in 1975 by Riley Joe Evans, is a full-service funeral provider. And 2020 makes it 45 years of offering services that respect all faiths, personal preferences, and financial considerations. They're the only funeral home in Boone, Lincoln, and Logan with its own crematory. Contact Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services at 304-855-3232 or visit www.evans-funeral-home.com or like Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services on Facebook to see their updated obituary information.
The adventure starts now. Go Thornhill and drive home a brand new Mitsubishi SUV today with ultimate savings on 2019 Outlander, $9,700 off, and 2019 Outlander PHEV, $8,400 off. New SUVs waiting for you. Thornhill Mitsubishi has what you're looking for.
Start of quarter number 2 here from Willie Acres Arena. Chris Kidd and Danny Kidd here with you as Logan has the ball to start the second quarter, leading at 16-12. And now Carson Kirk into the game for Logan. As Early will take a breather on the bench. They go down low to Cam Hensley. His turnaround in the paint goes, and Cameron Hensley, he's also started to pick up his offense recently too. He scored a couple buckets last night. As we said, he's more of a defensive specialist, but more and more of these Logan role players stepping up and adding into the point total. And here they create a turnover as Glick and Hensley were able to trap Copen, and he just lost it out of bounds.
Well, that last shot was very athletic shot, where the position he was in under the basket almost, and flipped it up, and he knew what he was doing. He was looking at the basket all the way.
Yeah, just soft touch from that range too, able to get that to fall. Such a difficult shot. As Glick over left side for Kirk. Kirk looking, now finds Hensley at the top of the key. He drives in again, kicks it out for Slack, not open, but finds Glick. Glick dribbles inside the free throw line, lost it with the left hand, but able to get it back. Throws it out to Hayner. Hayner was stripped, but into the hands of Carson Kirk. He'll try his luck inside, and Carson Kirk able to whip it in. What a drive by that sophomore.
They're starting to look like the Globetrotters out here, some of these shots. Amazing.
I agree. It's about the 4th or 5th one. You're like, wow.
Highlight reel stuff, I'm telling you.
And now you get a foul across midcourt. Looked like a bump by Aiden Slack that time. That'll be his first. That'll be team foul number 3 against Logan, 2 against Parkersburg Catholic, as we have 6:50 remaining now in the first half. It's a 20-12 Logan lead. It's Copen. Gets it over for Boyce, and this is obviously a crucial juncture for Parkersburg Catholic with Early on the bench, and Logan's outscored him 4-0, and a turnaround hook no good by Copen, rebounded by Kirk. As he had it swatted out of bounds by Boyce, it'll stay with Logan here.
That was exactly my thought, Chris, because Early is on the bench and they've extended their lead. So that's a positive thing for Logan at this juncture of the game.
Yeah, and if you're Zach Green, if that lead stays there or increases a little, you're not going to worry about getting him back in too soon. You want to get your big horse a rest as long as you can.
Absolutely, after an overtime game last night, too.
Slack on the left side, gets it into the corner for Glick. They lob it back out to Slack. And again, as we mentioned, most of these youngsters on the floor for Logan, you got 4 underclassmen out there right now, along with Hayner. As a trip and a fall on the baseline by Hayner draws a foul on Parkersburg Catholic. They get a block, so that'll be team foul number 3 on the Crusaders.
Logan's showing a strong ability to drive to the basket, pitch it back out, go back to the basket again. It's an in-and-out game for them right now.
Now it looks like they're trying to clean up the floor, and this is part of the problem that we saw. I don't know if there's like a pool underneath Logan's floor this year, but we've seen that in pretty much every game where there's a lot of condensation issues, especially during the Chapmanville game.
Well, why do they call this the island, Chris? Think about it.
Yeah, obviously bodies hit the deck that time, but we were here at that game against Chapmanville, just like, my goodness, what's going on? They were having to wipe up spots where nothing had happened. I didn't know we had an ice hockey arena underneath here. As they get it to Hayner underneath. His shot rejected. Now we get a loose ball foul going to go against Logan. Looks like maybe Cameron Hensley got his hands in and tried to rip the ball away. Let's see if they call on him. No, they're actually going to get it on Mitchell Hayner. So that'll be his first, team foul number 4. So we hit 6 minutes to go here in the second quarter. 20-12, Logan leads it over Parkersburg Catholic. Pass intercepted by Kirk. Dangerous pass, and Kirk stepped in on it. Had it knocked away from behind, but Kirk chases it down, gets it to Hensley at the top of the key, and he took his pivot foot up and travels with it.
It's always so easy to do that, Chris. You see the opening, you want to get there as fast as you can, you forget your feet are on the bottom of your legs. And that's what happened there.
So now they inbound it in the backcourt. Trying to work it up against this Logan pressure as Boyce up against Kirk. Now Slack switches on to him as he gets through the double team. Now a chance here, dribbles in underneath. Nice look for Xavier Colley as he'll lay it in on the left side for his 6th point.
Excellent job by Boyce there to split the defenders, get down, and that's good passing all the way around by the Catholic team.
Yeah, that was one of those, it was a gamble. If you don't get through there, you could be giving up a bucket on the other end, but once he did, they had a 3-on-1 as Hayner puts up a quick 3, misses it over the rim, rebounded by Parkersburg Catholic. Now another foul across midcourt. So we got through the first quarter without a whole lot of interruption, but here in the second, fouls have started to pick up on both ends, and now you see Cook, Williamson, and Early all checking back into the game as that one is on Hensley. That'll be team foul number 5. 20-14, Logan leads it with 5:09 to go here in the first half. Boyce across the timeline, goes in on Kirk. Decides not to try and challenge Early at the rim, kicks it out to Copen. Copen on the left wing, going up against Slack, gets to the free throw line, now dumps it down low. Nice pass to Colley cutting in, and a foul, and Williamson comes up gimpy after the play. Looks like he might have rolled his ankle a little bit. He's walking it off right now, but you can see he is limping. And they're going to get the foul here. Let's see. It's going to go against Williamson. That'll be his first, and they will call it on the shot.
And Early knocked that ball all the way to the Logan bench on the block after the foul.
If you're wondering why the "you got swatted" chant was going up, after the foul was called, Early knocked the ball into next week in order to get it out of there.
I wouldn't want to be over there watching that ball come at me, I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's why it's nice here at Logan. You're up high above. If the ball comes at us here, then something bad happened. Colley misses makes the first, but misses on the second. Rebounded by Early. Gets up ahead to Trey Brown, who's checked in. Now out to Early. He'll take a straight on 3, short. Rebounded by Kirk underneath, trying to get it loose. Throws it back out as he hits the ground off the foot of Trey Brown and into the backcourt. And it will be an over and back violation. One official on the far side didn't call it at first, but then the near side official did. Zach Green and Patrick Beto and company on the bench trying to say maybe it was deflected, but I didn't quite see if it was.
I think it was a correct call, Chris. It looked like Logan just lost the ball on that one. That's kind of a sloppy possession for him.
Now Parkersburg Catholic chance to cut this back to a single possession game. They trail it 20-15 as Boyce drives to the right elbow, cut off, kicks it over left side for Lang. Now back out to Boyce. Parkersburg Catholic going right to left across your computer screen and radio dial. Logan left to right. Boyce baseline pass intercepted by Noah Cook. Nice job by Cook.
Excellent defensive play.
Now they get it up ahead to Slack. He'll drive baseline, gets inside, avoids the defender, but can't get the layup to fall as it rolls out. So good chance there, but an empty possession for the Wildcats as Parkersburg Catholic brings it up as we're halfway through the second quarter. Still a 5-point lead for Logan. Copen behind his back at the free throw line, hands it off to Boyce. Boyce pump fakes, gets Slack in the air. His shot way off though, rebounded by Early. Early ahead of the defenders, gets it in the left corner for Slack. All alone for three, in and out again. Slack got robbed twice down the floor, but the rebound tipped out Early from deep. Count it for David Early.
That was from another zip code there.
I mean, he can fire it from 6, 8, 10 feet behind that three-point line.
With a lot of arch on it, too.
And it's so difficult to defend him, so he can do that to you, and if you come out on him, he's going to go right by you. So Logan has extended the lead to 8 now with 3:15 left in the first half as Lang kicks it cross court. Boyce now gives it over to Copen. Copen steps inside the arc. Tough jumper, but Copen able to get it to fall.
That was smooth. A smooth mid-range jumper, nothing but net.
He's got 7 now. It's Early back the other way. Fouled on the way in on the left side, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Yeah, Patrick Copen, a senior, he's had several nice games this year. Had 14 against Willing Central. Had a big point total against Tyler Consolidated. He had 25 in that game and had 17 points and 12 rebounds in the loss to St. Mary's this week.
Well, you can tell they like to run their offense to him. He has several touches in his first half, and it's good looks, too.
Early hits on the first. He's 3 of 3 from the line now tonight. He's got 11 points. He was 8 of 9 from the line last night in the loss to Wesley Christian as this one hits the front rim and falls through.
It's almost quiet points in a way. I mean, it's just come here and there, but you look up and he's in double digits already.
That's the thing, Early's done it this season without it being noticed very often, I mean, there's other games where you felt like he was taking a lot of shots, but he's been so much more efficient over the last couple of seasons here at Logan. As nice drive by Copen. He gets the defender tucked inside and hits the turnaround jumper for his 9th point.
This kid's got some talent. There's no doubt about it.
Those are 2 nice back-to-back drives by Copen to get free, and now the lead back down to 6 with 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. It's Early over to his right, forces his way in, lost the ball, gets it back, fouled, and the shot won't go, but he'll go back to the free throw line as they're going to get Cauley on the foul.
He worked overtime to get that foul, I'm telling you. I mean, he really, the head fakes, fighting for the ball, it got away from him, grabbed it back, gave a head fake, and there he is at the line again.
That's the thing. Early's done a better job, too, of getting inside, getting more drives to the rim, and getting to the free throw line as he hits on the first. Before he would kind of stand out and take some deep perimeter jumpers and didn't use his size to his advantage, but he's done that so much more here the last year or two, and he's able to hit both free throws. So the lead back up to 8 for Logan with 2:22 to go here in the second quarter. Boyce gets by everyone, kicks it in the corner. Garvin lost it off his hands and out of bounds. If not, he would have had a wide open 3.
Oh, well, Boyce looked really good on that. Full court, splitting defenders, throws a good pass and didn't get there.
In the foul situation, 16 fouls against Logan, 5 team fouls against Parkersburg Catholic. We roll down to the final 2 minutes of the first half. Get it back to Cook on the left wing. Ball fakes, kicks it back out to Early. He fakes. Now over to Trey Brown. He won't fake. He'll take it. No good off the front rim. Rebound tipped up, and Slack has it. Cook was the one that kept it alive. He'll get the 3 now. Noah Cook in and out. Oh, look, you get halfway down and jarred out. Now here comes Boyce back the other way off the rebound. Gets it to Garvin on the left wing. Garvin had 2 men around him. Forces a pass out to Copen, and a bailout call as Slack reached in and committed the foul.
I'm very impressed with Boyce's ball handling ability, Chris. He's smooth out there. He's got his head up all the time. He's finding open men. Logan's having a hard time defending him in the full court.
I agree. Again, he's kept the ball alive and hasn't contributed to any turnovers really here in the first half. Parkersburg Catholic's protected the ball well thus far here in the first half as it's a 1-on-1. No good for Copen and rebounded by Early. So now here comes Early with 1:35 left in the half. Gets inside the 3-point line. Step back jumper, and David Early able to hit for a deep two-pointer, and the lead is now swelled to 10. We're down to 1:25 left in the first half. Parkersburg Catholic in desperate need of some buckets here. They've really struggled to slow Logan down on the defensive end. It's Colley in the center, cut off, tried to go behind his back, almost lost it to Kirk. Now out to Boyce. Boyce will bring it back towards midcourt and reset as Kirk follows him out there. Now Boyce puts it into the corner. Lang, he's not a shooter from the outside, so he won't take it. We hit the 1 minute mark of the first half. Boyce over to his right, now to the center, spins to the right elbow, cut off, and now they'll get it back out front. Copen over to his left, now to Lang. Lang looking for a ball handler. Logan just going to let him dribble around right now as they know Lang's not going to take a jumper from out there. Now here comes Colley, step back jumper from the left side, no good off the front rim. Early with an outlet pass. Hensley drives in right side. Charge called on Cameron Hensley.
And the Logan crowd thoroughly does not like the call. I'm not sure I liked it, Chris, but it's the way the official saw it.
Yeah, that was just a bang-bang play down low again. Hensley got down there before the defender did, but the defender looked like he tried to set his feet right as Hensley went into the air, and the official gave him the benefit of the doubt.
Exactly.
So we're down to 25 seconds left here in the first half. 10-point lead for Logan. Parkersburg Catholic going to try and run down this first half, try and get the last shot. They barely got one off at the buzzer in the first quarter. It's out front Lang with 12 seconds. Gives it off to Boyce and almost stripped by Early, but they call him for a foul. And Zach Green wondering where the foul was on it as he's asking the official. But that's going to put Parkersburg Catholic on the line here with 9.6 seconds left. That one looked like Early got the pick, I thought.
I think he got the ball, Chris. It was right down here in front of us at half court, and we're going to look at it here. You can see what's going on, and it looks like maybe a little bit of body, but it was all ball as far as the pick went.
Yeah, as you saw it on our Video Productions instant replay on Video Productions. So yeah, tough call against Logan, but ball don't lie as Boyce misses on the free throw. He's 0-3 now from the line. Up ahead with 5 seconds. They get it to Brown. Brown drives left baseline. Out over. Now 3 at the horn. In and out for Noah Cook as he got robbed a couple of times here in the first half. But Logan slowly but surely built their lead, and they'll take a 10-point edge into intermission as they lead at 29-19 over Parkersburg Catholic. Well, Danny and I are going to step aside for a 2-minute break. When we come back, we'll talk about everything going on here in the first half, as well as talk about some other games coming up next week that might be of some importance down in Chapmanville, West Virginia. Well, we'll be back after this 2-minute timeout as you are listening to and watching Logan Wildcat basketball action with us right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
Break.
What are we doing here?
Welcome to Peytonville. Nationwide helps protect everything you see in here, Brad. Every family, every business, even Mrs. Hoffman's dream of retiring to become a yoga instructor.
Oh, they have backstories.
Here, I got more to show you.
FCA has incredible impact on coaches, the teams, the players, and the community as well.
It's changed our lives. It's changed mine as a husband, as a father, and as a coach.
It does make an impact on our lives.
FCA has become a full circle in our lives.
People from all different kinds of backgrounds.
If all we're going to be is a coach that happens to be a Christian, I think it's more important to be a Christian that happens to be a coach.
Little General Stores knows West Virginia, but what some may not know is what LG is doing in your communities. And I'm here to tell you how Little General, with the strength of their 100+ stores, is helping to enrich lives and empower families in West Virginia. Like the Norma May Huggins Cancer Research Endowment Fund, which is fighting to cure cancer every day right here in West Virginia. Locally owned and operated, LG has always been there and always will be. Little General Stores, committed to West Virginians. Boom!
Hurt in a car wreck, this is one room most people want to avoid.
It's a courtroom.
Insurance companies know that we work to get the best settlement before court. But if they won't pay up, our work is here.
It's about your health, your money, and your pain and suffering.
What you get matters. And our fee?
No worries. We don't get paid unless you do.
Hurt in a car wreck?
Call Farmer Klein and Campbell.
Because around here, you matter.
Call 252-5990.
That's okay. Welcome back, everybody. Chris Kidd here with you as we are at the half between Logan and Parkersburg Catholic as Logan leads the Crusaders 29-19. Danny Kidd alongside me with Aaron Stone on camera and Joe Mounts, our engineer on video productions. Terry Buckaloo, our engineer back in the WVOW studios here this evening as we've got all sorts of people on hand here for you tonight. But, you know, Danny, we talked about it a little bit during the break. It's been a nice up and down affair thus far. Been a lot of action here in the first half. Just neither side has shot particularly well. Again, we had a nice flurry there in the second quarter where both teams went back and forth at each other, but neither team's just really gotten into a rhythm offensively, and I think that does speak to how well their defenses play and pressuring both sides.
Well, the thing is, Chris, you can't criticize the effort by either team. I mean, they're going at it hard, they're hustling, they're playing hard, they're playing to win. But sometimes there's a lot of action and no results, and we went through some spells of that in this game. The good thing that happened in that quarter was that we were able to rest early and a couple of our starters and give them a little bit of a blow, and that was certainly helping the second half. But this Catholic team, as we discussed earlier, they're well coached. Sometimes, like I said, you may not be on a winning streak or whatever. It may just be your opponents are a little better than you, or maybe there's just some things not falling. But you can tell this team is well coached. They got some talented kids out there. And Logan had better come ready to play this second half. 10 points can be made up in no time. We know that with a three-point shot and the way the game's played now. So hopefully, some of these threes will drop that have been going in and out. We'll watch it on the layups a little closer because we've had some good inside looks that we've missed. So, should be an interesting second half, and hopefully Logan will come out and create some more separation and start the third quarter.
Yeah, and, you talk about Parkersburg Catholic scoring. It has been a bit of an issue for them this season. They're only averaging 52 points per game. They're allowing just 49 points per game, so the defense is there. But getting the ball to fall through the hoop seems to be a bit of an obstacle right now. And, as we talked about, you look at some of their point totals this year, 49 in an overtime win, and then this week, 49 points in a loss to St. Mary's, 35 points last night, only 19 here at the half. And with Logan's defense, as tough as it is all the time, it's going to be pretty difficult for Parkersburg Catholic to try and go on an elongated stretch. So I'm like you, if they're going to get it done, it's going to have to be some kind of quick spurt. Hope Logan kind of has a lull as well before they can try and get another spurt in, because, asking Parkersburg Catholic to go down and score on a consistent basis on offensive possession seems to be a bit of an issue for them this year.
And you know as well as anybody, Chris, you've announced probably 17,000 more ball games than I have. But
in the last year here.
Just the holidays. But the thing is, shooting's like the weather. It comes and goes. You don't know what, for some teams. And some teams a little more consistent with it. Some teams struggle with it. And Catholic seems to be one of those teams, judging by their average per game, that every possession is important to them in the context of the whole contest. Logan, on the other hand, averaging far more points a game, but sometimes you can get pulled down to your opponent's level, so you got to be a little careful of that. Logan, actually 29 points at the half is not bad, but it's still below their average. So they got some things to work on. And again, you had the overtime game last night, a little bit of a hangover from that, but overall the hustle's there on both teams, and I think it's going to be an entertaining second half.
When you look at the first half scoring on both sides for Parkersburg Catholic, they were led by Patrick Copeland with 9 points, Xavier Colley with 7 points, and Stephen Garvin rounding out the scoring with 3 points. On the other end, leading all scorers is David Early with 16 points. He's followed by Garrett Williamson with 7 points, all those coming in the first quarter. Then you have Mitchell Hayner with 2, Cameron Hensley with 2, and Carson Kirk with 2 points to round out the scoring. So as we get ready to start the second half, it's time now for our Logan Regional Medical Center keys to the second half. And for Logan, Danny, what do you see as the big key for them going into the second half? Again, you were impressed with their ball movement. You've been impressed with how they get up and down the floor, how they protect the ball. What's Logan got to do to make sure that they come out of here winners of 9 of their last 10 games?
Just finish the plays, Chris. That's the main thing. We've seen, as I said earlier, some open threes have gone in and out. We've seen some layups that got away from us. The effort's there, the execution's there. It's just a matter of finishing the job. And again, shooting's it's a tricky thing, but I don't think they need to back off from their three-point shooting because they're getting good looks. And Early's done an outstanding job on the boards too, by the way. I mean, it's kind of one and done when Catholic shoots the ball. They're not getting second shots, and the whole team just needs to stay aggressive on the boards. Keep taking your shot. Don't be afraid of it. They'll start falling.
Well, those are your Logan Regional Medical Center keys to the second half, and the key to your health care is with Logan Regional Medical Center, offering care for every stage of life, from the Women's Center to pediatrics and primary care physicians. Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you. Well, we'll be back after this 2-minute break for the start of quarter number 3 as Logan leads Parkersburg Catholic 29-19. You're listening to Logan Wildcat basketball action with us right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on video productions.
Thing that after an accident, you'll have to pay $500 for your deductible. The truth, at Allstate, you could pay $0. Allstate gives you $100 off your deductible the day you sign up. Then another $100 off every year you don't have an accident. Let the good hands reward your safe driving with a deductible that goes away. Now that you know the truth, are you in good hands?
Save in 2020 here at the home of under 20 grand. Thornhill Mitsubishi. Mirage G4, $11,115. Mirage Hatchback, $12,150. Outlander Sport, $19,874. Let Thornhill put you in a new Mitsubishi for under 20 grand. Jumpstart 2020 in the new ride. Trade up and get more for less at Thornhill Mitsubishi. With over $9,700 off, get in a new 2019 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross for $20,565. And Thornhill is paying top dollar for your trade, so bring us what you got and hit the road in a brand new Mitsubishi.
Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services, founded in 1975 by Riley Joe Evans, is a full-service funeral provider. And 2020 makes it 45 years of offering services that respect all faiths, personal preferences, and financial considerations. They're the only funeral home in Boone, Lincoln, and Logan with its own crematory. Contact Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services at 304-855-3232 or visit www.evans-funeral-home.com or like Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services on Facebook to see their updated obituary information.
I'm Tanya Crubb, Director of Acute Inpatient Rehab, Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Wright, surgical podiatrist from Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
I'm Romel Mitchell, Executive Secretary, Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Thank you for trusting your care at
Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Start of quarter number 3 coming up here from Willie Acres Arena. Chris Kidd and Danny Kidd here with you, high above in the press box at Willie Acres Arena with Joe Mounts, our engineer on video productions, Aaron Stone, our cameraman, and Terry Bucklew back in the WVOW studios engineering tonight's game for us. As Parkersburg Catholic has the ball to start quarter number 3, going left to right across your computer screen and radio dial, and Logan going right to left as Parkersburg Catholic going towards the stage here at Willie Acres Arena. As Copen gets it to Lang in front of the Parkersburg Catholic bench. Hands it off to Boyce, but kicks it away from himself and out of bounds over to Logan.
Got trapped along the out of bounds line, had nowhere to go.
Yeah, and you haven't seen him make that many mistakes tonight.
No.
We've both talked about how well he's handled the ball, but right there just kind of fumbled it and lost it off his leg. So now Logan with a chance to build on the lead. Same play to start the second half last night, but this time Parkersburg Catholic ready for it as they tried that back screen and the alley-oop to Early. Last night it worked for a slam dunk, but tonight Boyce was able to cut it off and Early lost it out of bounds. So good defense there by the Crusaders as they get the ball back, trailing by 10. It's Cook going hardcore man-to-man defense up the floor, but Boyce able to beat him up. It gets it to Copen, tough fadeaway jumper. Wow, what a shot from the left corner by Copen as he was falling out of bounds. Now Early back the other way quickly. Double teamed in the left corner, kicks it back out. Now over to Williamson. 29-21, Logan leads it. Over to Early on the left wing. And Early with those 16 first half points. Gets it up top for Hayner. Now over to Glick. Early sets up shop down on the left baseline. Spins the baseline, goes up, can't convert as he and Zach Green looking for a foul but didn't get it. Now here comes Parkersburg Catholic the other way. Copen goes for 3 from the corner, rolls off the rim after it hit 3 separate times and touched last out of bounds by Parkersburg Catholic.
That could have very much been a 5-point game right there. He had a good look and it bounced around and came off.
The second bounce, you thought it was going to carry them in after that one, but it just rolled right off the front.
Kawhi Leonard there.
And harken that back to all our 76ers fans out there. So now up top for Williamson. He'll drive in. There's that floater again, and Williamson, he's got that down pat the third time he's hit that tonight.
There's no luck involved in that, Chris. He's made it a consistent part of his game tonight.
And he's got 9 points now for the evening, does the freshman. 31-21 Logan. 6 minutes to play in the third quarter. Top of the key is Boyce. Looking to drive in on Cook. Gets to the free throw line. Now takes it right side. Now into the left corner for Lang. Lang dribbles into the paint. Pull-up shot. Tried to bank it in, but no good. Rebounded by Early. He takes off. Gets by Boyce. 3 men back. He drives into all 3 of them. Counted, and the foul for David Early. He drove by and took on all 5 defenders that time. Once he got by Boyce, he had 3 waiting on him in the paint, and he said, "Bring it on, boys," and he had the strength to get it up and put it in.
I mentioned the Emil Boatwright in our pregame. That was an Emil Boatwright move right there.
That was impressive from David Early. Again, just the upper body strength to be able to get that shot off while being hit. And a chance now for a 3-point play. He's got 6 of 6 from the line tonight. Make it 7 of 7 as he's got 19 now for the game.
Yeah, he was fouled by committee on that one.
I was going to say, who did they even give that to? I think they finally settled on Colley, so that'll be number 2 on him. 3 the other way. Garvin off the mark, rebounded by Glick. Logan looking to extend this 13-point lead now as they've slowly crept away from the Crusaders in this game. As we talked about with Parkersburg Catholic's offensive woes, this lead gets higher. It's going to be difficult for him, and it swells to 15 as Glick hits from the left baseline, his first bucket. 36-21 Wildcats as they've taken this to a 15-point bulge now with Copen. Over to Colley, dumbs it down off the hands of his man, but able to be corralled by Bruni. He'll give it off. Colley, shot rejected out of bounds by Jaron Glick. It'll stay with Parkersburg Catholic.
Logan's defense has picked it up a notch in this quarter. You can see a big difference. Even though the first half they were hustling, they were going after it this time, we're seeing results.
So I said they're just such a scrappy ball club despite being undersized at most positions other than Early's and maybe Hayner's as well. I said Logan's still able to do so much with their team speed and just their quickness and their footwork. They're just always in the right position as Copen takes a contested jumper in front of Hayner and gets the friendly roll this time.
He is such a smooth player, very talented.
He's got 13 now for the game, and the lead still stands at 13 for Logan. And that's the difficulty with this Logan defense. Even though you make a shot, you feel like you had to work extra hard for it. And Copen's had to work hard for all 13 of his here tonight. It's Hayner in the left corner. Gets it up top for Early. He'll now back it back towards midcourt and get himself a running start. He'll step into a 3, and David Early able to connect on his third 3 of the game. He's got 22 points now here in just 2.5 quarters.
You don't want to let him look at the basket that long.
As Boyce gets by the pressure underneath Bruni all alone on the left side, and Bruni lays it in for his first bucket. Now Early quickly back the other way, dribbles into the paint. All 5 Crusaders converge on him, and this time Bruni comes up with a steal. Gives it off to Boyce, drives in, gets the layup to fall. Looked like Glick got a piece of it, but Boyce able to have enough strength to roll it in.
Excellent penetration, one-hand layup.
That's Boyce's first points of the game, and he's one of the leading scorers on this Parkersburg Catholic club. 39-27, Logan leads it by a dozen, 3:39 to go in the third quarter. Get it over for Glick, now to Williamson, to Hayner. Hayner ball fakes, drives inside the paint, gets all the way to the rack and lays it in on the right side for his 4th point.
That's the way to penetrate to the basket right there. Right down the lane, easy two.
I said you show that ball, you get the defender to commit, and once they commit or get in the air, now there's a steal by Hayner, and he's hammered. Oh, and let's hope he's okay again. He took a hard fall underneath as you see Boyce, who clocked him on the play, quickly went over to check on him. It wasn't intentional by any stretch.
It was just a hard foul.
Yeah, it happened so fast. Boyce just grabbed onto him as he went up, and Hayner just had no way of bracing his fall that time.
And again, like you said, he showed his sportsmanship by helping him up, make sure he's okay.
It does appear Hayner is all right, thankfully, after that fall. And you see him kind of flexing his arm now, trying to make sure he's loose, and looks like an official's timeout right now. And he's pointing at Hayner, the official is. And I I think Hayner may be bleeding right now is what the issue is. So, and now that looks like David Early has actually broken a milestone here as Shayna. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Again, he's now the Logan all-time leading scorer as he passed Shayna on the all-time list. He's now coaching at St. Albans High School for the girls team. Again, she was the all-time leading scorer in Logan High School history, even had more points than Paul Herbert Williamson, but again was a standout star at Marshall for the last 4 years, and she was here tonight. I saw her over in the corner, and I figured she was just here maybe to watch, but, you know, obviously David was so close to that milestone, and so they stopped the game in order to honor David there. I wasn't sure if it was Hayner bleeding or what, but David Early just cracking all sorts of milestones as Hayner hits the first.
Congratulations to that young man. Records are made to be broken, and those that set them, establish those standards, and it's quite a compliment, this young man, what he's accomplished here at Logan. And still got a little way to go.
Yeah, still got half the season to see how far he can put that record out there. As Hayner hits both free throws, the lead back up to 16. Boyce called for a charge as Hayner on the other end, able to do the work on the defensive end now as Logan starting to run away with this one, leading it by 16 with 3:10 to play in the third.
He's going to count his bruises in the morning. I'm telling you, he has hit the floor in this quarter hard.
I'm going to say they don't need to mop up this floor. Now there's going to be a technical call on Rob Stracula as he wasn't happy with the call. And he picks up the technical as the frustration setting in for Parkersburg Catholic. And as we said, they've lost 3 in a row here in just the last week or so, Danny, and this looking like loss number 4 on its way. And, you know, you can tell just the irritation and the frustration is all over their bench and their coaches right now.
Well, you know, we saw a questionable charging call in the first half not go Logan's way. So, you know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, I guess, Chris. I don't know.
Early short on the first free throw. He'll get a second free throw. Again, no one at the line on the technical, and Early hits on the second. So he's now, for the game, got 23 points, and Logan will have the ball, leading at 44-27. So it'll be Hayner to inbound near the Pep Club here on the near side. So get it in for Williamson. Close in on 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Early on the left wing, steps back, goes for 3, no good, short. Hensley tried to save it, but had a foot out of bounds, and just the jab step he made to cause the defender to rock back that time was nasty.
That was an ankle snapper there, I'm telling you. It's a shame he didn't complete the play, but that was a heck of a move by the young man.
As Boyce circles around, we'll get it up top. Driving in, tough one-handed shot. Somehow Carly got that to go.
Right over Early, too. He was there. And
on the other end, an outlet pass gets away from Glick as it's too far, and it'll go back over to Parkersburg Catholic. Yeah, Carly that time, he was fading away, threw it up with the right hand and got the bank.
I thought Early was going to get that one, too.
Now they get it over for Cope, and he'll go for 3 from the left corner. No good. Rebound put back up and in, though, by Garvin as no one had a body on him. The lead back down to 13 here as Parkersburg Catholic trying to go on a little run to give themselves an opportunity going into the fourth quarter. Hayner spins in, tough turnaround jumper, no good, and Copeland with a strong rebound. So he'll bring it up the center floor. Chance to cut it to 11 or 10 on this trip as Copeland in the left corner, back up top. Colley thought about taking a 3, instead gives it off to Boyce as we hit 2 minutes exactly left in the third. Boyce drives in left side, kicks it out. Colley there, got Hensley in the air. He'll drive in right side, and Colley will lay it in. So the last 6 points now to Parkersburg Catholic. 44-33 as Early attacks quickly the other way, and a foul called on the way in. And again, the Parkersburg Catholic bench irate. And that was a tough call there because Early stepped to the side of the defender, and the call came a little after what contact was there.
Logan needs to put a nail in this little lull that's going on right now. Catholic's caught a little bit of fire on Logan. Logan is made some sloppy plays up and down the court. Once you look up and you see you're up by 16 or so, you think, well, okay, we can let up on the gas a little bit, but they better not do it against this team. They're scrapping all the way, and they're not quitting.
That was a good job by Early noticing that and getting himself back to the free throw line, and this time he knocks down both. So the lead back to 13 and in 6-0 spurt for Parkersburg Catholic.
Here comes the pressure again.
They'll go full court here on Parkersburg Catholic as Colley lobs it up ahead for Copen on the left wing. Trying to go in on Hayner, but Hayner stays in front of him. Now hands it off to Boyce. Boyce inside, caught, tough turnaround jumper, but Boyce gets it to go. And now we mentioned it, Parkersburg Catholic doesn't score on every possession, but they can score in big spurts.
And Boyce is looking better all the time.
And now
he makes a steal.
Wow, he just picked the pocket of Carson Kirk. Goes behind his back and lays it up and in. What a play by Boyce.
Beautiful, beautiful layup. Great play all around by Boyce.
And now what was a 17-point lead has shrunk to 9 here in just the last couple of minutes. We're down to 1 minute to go in the third quarter. Parkersburg Catholic almost with another steal, but they were on a 10-2 run ever since Coach Stracrula picked up that technical.
Apparently it fired him up, Chris.
I was going to say, sometimes you get those technicals that are, mood jumpers for you. That's what you always did in grade school basketball whenever we played.
Yeah, but we always lost.
You're still waiting on it to work.
All you guys did was get mad at me and wouldn't talk to me for a week.
Different strategy didn't work.
I guess, yeah.
As Early drives in and lost it out of bounds, and it's going to go back over to the Crusaders. So this has been a rough end of the third quarter for Logan when it looked like they were completely in control, and now Parkersburg Catholic a chance to cut this to 7 or 6 on this trip. Logan will get the ball to start the fourth quarter unless we get a tie up here in the last 30 seconds. But Boyce dribbling around out front. Parkersburg Catholic going to try and run down this third quarter as Boyce dribbles in, now dribbles back out, gives it to Copen with 17 seconds. Copen on the left side. Now takes it over to the left corner, dribbles back out with 10 seconds left, over to Boyce. Now Parkersburg Catholic will move down to 6 seconds. Boyce into the middle, steps back, tough jumper, banks it in with 2 seconds to go. And that is how the third quarter will end, with Logan leading it 46-39 as a 17-point lead has shrunk to 7. We'll be back after this as you are listening to and watching Logan Wildcat basketball action with us right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
It's not boring.
Tanya Crubb, Director of Acute Inpatient Rehab, Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Wright, surgical podiatrist from Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
I'm Romel Mitchell, Executive Secretary. Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Thank you for trusting your care at
Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Peyton, what are we doing here?
Welcome to Peytonville. Nationwide helps protect everything you see in here, Brad. Every family, every business, even Mrs. Hoffman's dream of retiring to become a yoga instructor.
Oh, they have backstories.
Here, I got more to show you.
(46-39), Logan leads Parkersburg Catholic as we get set to start quarter number 4 from Willie Acres Arena. Chris Kidd and Danny Kidd here with you. Terry Bucklew back in the WVOW studios engineering tonight's game, with Joe Mounts with us here on Video Productions Engineering, and Aaron Stone on camera as we saw David Early reach milestone, passing Shayna Gore for the all-time leading scorer in Logan basketball history, past Williamson the other night. But now Logan trying to avoid giving up a 17-point lead as Early is stuffed by the rim on the dunk, but gets it back and lays it in as he drove baseline to start the quarter.
He was definitely a man on a mission right there, Chris. He knows he's got to stem some of this momentum, and he took it right to the hole.
Yeah, that was a strong move. He went up, tried to one-hand slam it, and the rim rejected him, but he got it back and laid it in. So quickly the lead up to 9 again. Again, Logan led it 44-27, but Parkersburg Catholic caught fire at the end of the quarter as Copen, jumper from the left side, off the front rim, no good. Rebounded by Logan as they get it up ahead to Hayner. Now pass deflected by Copen out of bounds, but it'll stay with Logan.
Copeland is a long, lanky kid, and he's got those long arms. You better watch your passes over there because I tell you what, he's got a reach about him. He's got a little bit of wingspan there.
So timeout called by Parkersburg Catholic, a full timeout, so we'll step aside as well as Logan leads it by 9. You're listening to Logan Wildcat Basketball with us right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
Law Office is a local firm located at 36 Adams Street in Chapmanville. Rob Kinzel has been practicing law in Logan County for over 15 years and is dedicated to providing quality legal representation for personal injury, criminal defense, and family law for individuals and families throughout southern West Virginia. Call Kinzel Law Office today to set up your free consultation. Rob Kinzel, quality legal services close to home.
Little General Stores knows West Virginia, but what some may not know is what LG is doing in your communities. And I'm here to tell you how Little General, with the strength of their 100-plus stores, is helping to enrich lives and empower families in West Virginia. Like the Norma May Huggins Cancer Research Endowment Fund, which is fighting to cure cancer every day right here in West Virginia. Locally owned and operated, LG has always been there and always will be. Little General Stores, committed to West Virginians. Boom!
Out of the timeout, Logan with the ball, leading by 11 as Hensley drives in. His shot short, but David Early there on the rebound. He's got 29 for the game and the lead back up to 11.
Yeah, 4 quick points by him to start the quarter.
And now a foul as Copeland was trying to cross mid-court. Going to get a reach in here. As that'll be the first team foul of the second half against Logan, 5 against Parkersburg Catholic. They're going to get Cameron Hensley on the reach in. That'll be number 3 on him. Logan had a 17-point lead. It dwindled down to 7, but 2 back-to-back baskets to start the fourth quarter by Early has put the lead back into double figures. It's Copeland. Drives left side, kicks it out, now over to Colley on the right wing. He finds a crease inside, puts up a jumper inside the paint, no good. Hensley gets the rebound for Logan. Now over to Early. Early was bothered by Colley, lost it out of bounds. They're going to say last touch by Colley, and Parkersburg Catholic. Boy, Coach Dracula is trying everything he can not to eat the towel.
He's got that towel halfway down his throat right now. He is livid, and I'm not going to argue with him.
Yeah, that definitely looked like it was last touch by Early out of bounds. But and where Dracula got that technical a moment ago, he can't get off the bench, and now here's a charge on David Early as he drove baseline and ran over top of Boyce. But yeah, Coach Dracula has to keep his cool over on the bench right now after that technical earlier. If he even stands up, he's going to be back in the locker room now.
Yeah, he's a fine-looking young man, but he's going to be awful old at the end of this game.
Yes, he did his best Jerry Tarkanian there a second ago.
He's got that towel with him.
So it will. Now they're trying to clean up underneath. They're trying to clean up underneath right now where Boyce hit the deck on that charge call. 50-39, Logan leads it with 6:14 to go. Again, trying to go in with a win before that huge clash between Logan and Chapmanville on Tuesday night. Again, Chapmanville playing Winfield, getting ready to get started in about 30 minutes. And again, I'll be down there in maybe about the next hour or so. I'll be there with James Barker on Video Productions to announce that game. So I'll get a look at both teams heading into Tuesday night anyway. This goes to show that I had nothing else to do on Saturday night.
Man about town.
Exactly. Boyce drives in. His shot rejected by Noah Cook. And now a foul by Copeland as Hayner was able to break out of the pack with it, and that's going to be another foul on Parkersburg Catholic as Copeland picks up his second, and that's going to be team foul number 6 with 5:58 to play.
Yeah, with 5:58, I think the next 2 minutes will be very critical in this game, Chris. I think it's either going to be separation time for Logan or it could get tight.
As Parkersburg Catholic, we talked about it, that they are a streaky scoring team. They had that big spurt at the end of the third, but now they've gone cold again here at the start of the fourth. So Logan trying to withstand this run. As Parkersburg Catholic really picking up the aggression on the defensive end right now, trying to force Logan into turnovers. But as we said, Logan has been a good ball handling club all season long. As Early on the right wing, lobs it up front for Slack. Slack, who had the most touchdowns on the football team this year. Now they get it back to Early at the free throw line, back out. Williamson goes for three. That could be a dagger right there as Garrett Williamson.
Good recognition by Early there to pitch it back out to a wide open Williamson.
And Williamson, the freshman, has 12 points now as a foul on the baseline as Williamson cutting off Copen, and he'll pick up the foul, but that's only going to be team foul number 3. So it'll be number 2 on Garrett Williamson with 5:17 left in the fourth quarter. They get it to Boyce, puts up a floater on the baseline, and Williamson got a piece of it and blocked it, and then Boyce tackles Williamson from behind as he was going after the ball and took him to the ground, and that should put Logan in the 1-1.
Been good sportsmanship here tonight, Chris. As hard as these kids are fighting, hitting the floor, knocking heads. When somebody goes down, somebody helps somebody up, and it's the opposite color. So it's good to see that in sports with some of the things that happen in higher levels sometimes.
And that's what you want to see. You know, you want to see a hard-fought, competitive game, even aggressive game. But as long as you can keep your cool and keep your sportsmanship about you, then that's number one.
Yeah, both benches clear here in a minute. I'm coming off the air because it's on me. Okay.
I've had a few of those in the past. You know, and I had one here. It wasn't with Logan. It was with a different sectional game about 10 years ago where we had a bench clearing brawl. So that was fun.
It happens. It happens. The competition gets hot sometimes. That's all there is to it.
Williamson hits both free throws. He's got 14 points for the game, and Logan's lead now back to 16. Colley trying to stop the bleeding, but his jumper no good. Copen strong rebound, and then a foul underneath us. Copen and Williamson and Boyce all getting very familiar with each other, committing fouls and picking each other up after they hit the deck.
Maybe after the game we can pick up Copen's contract or something. I tell you, he is a well of a player. He's good.
As Williamson picks up his third foul, that's team foul number 4, as Copen trying to fight his way in, kicks it back out as Boyce has it. Boyce at the top of the circle, now gives it off to Copen. He tries to drive to his left, picked up by Early, puts his body into him, turnaround shot, rejected by Early. Taken away by Hensley as he'll bring it up the floor. Over to Early left side, jumps in, fouled on the way to the basket. As Bruni tried to grab him from behind on the way to the rim, but didn't get the call. And then the hack right at the rim will go against Catholic, as we'll see who they get it on. That'll go against Colley. And that'll be number 3 against Xavier Colley, as first free throw by Early is up and good.
That was an excellent jump step on Early's part to get on the right side of the rim and get the layup look. Of course, he got fouled, didn't get the layup, but it put him there.
He's got 30 points for the game now, make it 31 as Early hits on both.
Can you say quiet 31?
That's what I was going to say. I mean, he had 33 last night, 31 tonight. And, you know, it's just kind of come in little spurts here tonight. But Early and the key point total man again here this evening for Logan has full court pressure, almost a 5-second call. But they get it ahead to Boyce, now over right side, 3 on the way, well short, no good. As just checking into the game was Nick Stricker, and he couldn't convert. Now pass up ahead off the hands of Williamson and out of bounds, back over to the Crusaders. This is the largest lead of the game for the Wildcats at 57-39.
Early's rebound stats must be very impressive. I'm telling you, he has garnered everything he can get a hold of.
Yeah, I think he had 13 or 14 last night as Copen's jumper short, rebounded though by Boyce on the left baseline. Kicks it in the corner for Stricker, and a timeout called here by Parkersburg Catholic with 4:12 remaining. And it will be a full timeout, so we'll step aside as well. Back after this as you're watching Logan Wildcat basketball action with us right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
I'm a 70-pound St. Bernard puppy, and my lack of impulse control is about to become your problem.
No, come on. I saw you eating poop earlier. My focus is on the road, and that's saving me cash with DriveWise.
Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services, founded in 1975 by Riley Joe Evans, is a full-service funeral provider. And 2020 makes it 45 years of offering services that respect all faiths, personal preferences, and financial considerations. They're the only funeral home in Boone, Lincoln, and Logan with its own crematory. Contact Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services at 304-855-3232 or visit www.evans-funeral-home.com or like Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services on Facebook to see their updated obituary information.
Save in 2020 here at the home of under 20 grand. Thornhill Mitsubishi. Mirage G4, $11,115. Mirage Hatchback, $12,150. Outlander Sport, $19,874. Let Thornhill put you in a new Mitsubishi for under 20 grand.
Out of the timeout, Parkersburg Catholic with the ball, but they throw it away as Cameron Hensley goes to the deck and takes it away. Chris Kidd and Danny Kidd here with you as we've reached the midway point of the fourth quarter, and Logan, after going into the fourth quarter with just a 7-point lead, has seen it balloon to 11. Williamson looks for more, but he misses on the jumper out of bounds. It'll go back to the Crusaders. But again, the response by this young Logan club when Parkersburg Catholic cut a 17-point lead down to 7, and now here they come back and respond yet again.
Well, it's like I said, Chris, the next 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna belabor the point I belabored during the timeout that I'm a genius.
You did. You said it. Next 2 minutes could determine whether we're going down to the wire, if Logan can pull away, and Logan has pulled away as Boyce misses on the 3-point attempt. Rebound again underneath fought for, and we're going to get a tie-up, and the possessioner will stay with Parkersburg Catholic. And just a reminder that Nationwide Insurance agent Greg Dalton is a proud supporter of Logan Wildcat Athletics and the community of Logan County. For auto, home, life, and business insurance, call the Greg Dalton Agency at 304-752-8300. Greg Dalton Insurance, with offices on Main Street in Logan and Main Street in Chapmanville. For all your sides, there is Nationwide. This is WVOW Logan. Now they get the floor wiped up after the sweat fell off on the last loose ball attempt as Parkersburg Catholic has it off the tie-up. Jumper off the mark for Copen as it rolls off, and Parkersburg Catholic has yet to score here in the fourth quarter. Logan has outscored them 11-0 here in the first 4.5 minutes. And we get another whistle on the baseline, and could be another foul here on Catholic, and if so, that's going to put Logan back at the free throw line as they're going to get Stricker on the push.
Yeah, Catholic's going to be pushing to reach their per-game average even, Chris.
Yeah, they only come in averaging 52 points per game on the year and only allowing 49 coming in, but right now Logan has pushed that well beyond their season average as Hensley hits on the first. Logan averaging 69 points per game on the year, giving up 58, but honestly that's a little deceptive because Logan's played a very, very difficult schedule as Hensley gets both free throws to fall, second one rattles home. But even with that difficult schedule, they've been able to clamp down on a lot of really good offensive teams, including the team we're going to see next here at Willie Acres Arena. And George Washington, they beat them in overtime 85-82. And that's where that 8-game winning streak started at, as a foul across midcourt with 3:11 to go. And this is where it gets a little tedious sometimes at the end of games. You know, it's a 20-point lead. Ball games decided at this point. I understand both sides want to continue getting their players experience and trying to get them a little bit more used to the intense atmosphere for the full 32 minutes. But whenever it gets to this point, it feels like, just the fouls pick up. It gets very, very emotional sometimes, and you pick up some goofy fouls on both ends, and it turns into a parade to the free throw line as Garvin misses on a 3 knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Parkersburg Catholic.
I never much care for the term garbage time because, these kids are playing too. But like you said, sometimes it gets a little bit sloppier than the regular game. So, but again, you got to get some of your players out there, give them that little bit of experience, and maybe they'll learn to control themselves a little bit better the next time they're out there.
Copen misses on the jumper, and Hensley charges in, and they get the blocking foul and counted in the foul. Wow. Gave Cameron Hensley the continuation on that shot, and he go to the line for an N1.
We've seen a couple of those tonight for Logan, Chris, haven't we?
Yeah, again, that was a tough shot for Hensley. Got it to go, but I didn't think he was going to get the continuation call that time, but he gets the benefit of the doubt, and that's going to be foul number 4 on Jeb Boyce.
Well, he showed a lot of touch on that last foul shot, and then he showed even more touch on that layup.
Hensley, he's had himself a fine evening as well. He's got 6 points overall. Like I said, Hensley not really in there for his offensive ability, more on his defensive end is where you want him. But, he's proven the last several games that he can get you 6-8 points off the bench, and doing that alleviates a lot of the pressure off of David Early.
Exactly. If you can get 8 points off of anybody from the bench, you have had a good night.
And that'll be one of the big issues going into that game against Chapmanville on Tuesday night. Again, they outscored Chapmanville 32-0 in bench points the first time around, and Chapmanville only had 3 players score. They had Obina, they had Scholl, and they had Philip Mullins were the only ones that scored for Chapmanville in that game, as Hensley converts the and one.
That's a recipe for disaster if you've only got 3 people carrying your load. So you've got to have some support from your bench and your other players.
And it looks like Zach Green getting ready to empty his bench here with 2:35 remaining in the contest. His team has outscored Parkersburg Catholic now here in this fourth quarter 16-0, but it finally ends as a step back 3 for Xavier Colley goes, and there's the first bucket of the fourth for Parkersburg Catholic. As Early drives in, lost it on the way in, somehow got it back, goes up on the left side and just goes up and knocked a man down, and really it wasn't a charge that time. Again, he just ran into contact with Early as he went up.
That was honest.
And that's 33 now for Early, back-to-back nights with 33, and almost a steal. No, he does have a steal. Look out! Slam dunk for David Early!
And a smile and a half there.
He throws it down with one hand, and now a quick timeout for Logan here as they look to get in their substitutes. And just trying to do the math, David Early might be at 2,000 points, to be honest with you. Again, 68 points, broke 1929 the other night. Again, he is right at it right now, if not past it. So David Early, just what a game again here tonight, Danny, as he is proving why he deserved every bit of the accolades he was getting and why he is a verbal committee to a D1 school at Marshall.
That's why I didn't care to put him in the same category of a boat ride or a Mark Hatcher. These were guys that could do it all inside, outside, play all-around games. They're the ones you remember. I mean, shooting's one thing, but when you can do it on all ends of the court, both ends, all over the court like he's doing it, it's exceptional.
Now here we go with 1:50 to play as Logan just turned on the afterburners here in the fourth quarter and ran away from Parkersburg Catholic. Again, Catholic had that 10-0 spurt in the third quarter to cut the lead to 7. Looked like we had a game on our hands coming in, but Logan just emphatically slams the door shut here in the fourth quarter, outscoring Parkersburg Catholic 20-3 here at the moment. Out front, trying to find some help is Lang. He'll give it off to Colley, down to 1:17 to go. 66-42, and now Kirk comes up with a steal. Gets it up ahead of the pack, driving in left side, into the corner. 3 on the way for Scotty Browning, in and out, no good. His rebound tipped out long as Townsend had a nice find that time. Now a steal for Carson Kirk with 1 minute to go. Back over to Scotty Browning, back out to Kirk. Deep 3 from the right side, no good. And rebounded underneath, taken away by Stricker. And Scotty Browning, the younger brother of Stevie Browning, went on to play at Marshall and then overseas. And now we get a quick officials timeout, or like a running timeout, as Parkersburg Catholic wanted to get in a few substitutes here at the end too.
And ever since we made our comments about the subs, these guys have played some good, clean basketball.
Yeah,
they are really they're playing well. They're playing well.
Now out front, Browning, good defense and got the steal over to Browning, or Trey Brown. Trey Brown drives in, his shot off the mark. Rebound put back up, no good, loose underneath. This was a good offensive rebound there by Logan, but couldn't convert. Now here comes Parkersburg Catholic back the other way with under 30 seconds to go. It's Logan going to be on their way to a 12-4 mark as a reaching foul with 22.1 seconds to go. That'll be team foul number 6 against Logan. Yeah, this will be Logan's 7th win by double digits in their last 9 wins. So not only have they been winning, but they've been winning emphatically during this stretch.
That's good for their confidence level. Just don't get overconfident, because any opponent can take you down to the wire, and they found that out last night when they played an excellent team.
And again, as we talked about, one of those double-digit wins was against the 2-time defending state champion Chapmanville Tigers, and they're going to set up a huge date with them on Tuesday night as Scotty Browning reaches in and commits a foul with 11.9 seconds to go. So that'll put Parkersburg Catholic into the 1-on-1. And it sounds like the Logan Pep Club wanting somebody on the bench to get into the game here. As free throw up by Stricker and good.
Yeah, they'll probably have to shut down every business in Chapmanville Tuesday night because everybody's going to be at the game.
Second free throw good by Stricker. Yeah, I already told you. I said I might as well not leave work that day. I said I'm just going to stick around at the school and wait it out. That's 3 on the way from the right side. In and out, no good. 5 seconds to go. Stricker will dribble it across the timeline, looks inside, pass underneath. They won't get a shot off, and that will do it here this evening. And again, Parkersburg Catholic cut a 17-point lead down to 7, but Logan dominates the fourth quarter, holding the Crusaders to just 5 points and outscoring them 20-5 to pick up a 66-44 win here tonight. Well, Danny and I will step aside for a 2-minute break. When we come back, we'll recap all the action here tonight from Willie Acres Arena as the Wildcats move to 12-4 with a 22-point win over the Parkersburg Catholic Crusaders. You're watching and listening to Logan Wildcat basketball action with us right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
Stores knows West Virginia, but what some may not know is what LG is doing in your communities. And I'm here to tell you how Little General, with the strength of their 100+ stores, is helping to enrich lives and empower families in West Virginia. Like the Norma May Huggins Cancer Research Endowment Fund, which is fighting to cure cancer every day right here in West Virginia. Locally owned and operated, LG has always been there and always will be. Little General Stores, committed to West Virginians. Boom!
As I was coming up the hill, the woman come into my lane and hit me head on.
She was from out of town, driving her boyfriend's rental car on a suspended license.
Steering wheel airbag, everything went off, and I mean, it just tore me up pretty good.
We know the law, did the research, and Joe got paid.
They didn't just treat me like, well, you're just another client. No, they treated me more like family. They did a lot, more than I ever thought they could do.
Farmer Klein and Campbell is the way to go. Call 252-5990.
Hey, Joe.
I'm your 70-pound St. Bernard puppy, and my lack of impulse control is about to become your problem.
No, come on. I saw you eating poop earlier. My focus is on the road, and that's saving me cash with DriveWise.
At Farmer Klein and Campbell, we pride ourselves on providing classic service.
You get a firm that's concerned about you, your family, as well as the legal process.
We combine the newest technology and digital tools
with our 35 years of experience
to help you get more than the insurance company wants to offer.
Traditional service,
contemporary techniques.
It'll never go out of style.
Call 346-5990.
Steve, is that your car?
No, it's a rental.
Welcome back, everybody, here at the Willie Acres Arena. 66-44, Logan defeats Parkersburg Catholic here tonight. Just a reminder that Nationwide Insurance agent Greg Dalton is a proud supporter of Logan Wildcat Athletics and the community of Logan County. For auto, home, life, and business insurance, call the Greg Dalton Agency at 304-752-8300. Greg Dalton Insurance, with offices on Main Street in Logan and Main Street in Chapmanville. For all your sides, there is Nationwide. This is WVOW Logan. Well, let's run through the final scoring here on both sides, starting with Parkersburg Catholic. They were led by Xavier Colley with 14 points, then Patrick Copeland with 13 points, followed by Jeb Boyce with 8 points, Stephen Garvin with 5 points, Nick Stricker and Jalen Bruni each with 2 points apiece. On the other end, leading all scorers tonight was David Early, who once again passed the Logan High milestones. He passed Shayna Gore for the most points of any Logan basketball player ever here this evening. Finished it off with an emphatic one-handed slam at the end of the game for his 35th point, and 35 tonight's the total for Early. Then you had Garrett Williamson, big game for him with 14 points for the Wildcats, followed by Cameron Hensley off the bench with 7 points, Mitchell Hayner with 6 points, and Carson Kirk and Jaron Glick each with 2 points here tonight. Well, Danny, what was something here tonight as we were watching that really impressed you about this Wildcat club? Again, everyone talked about how young they were, but you saw how experienced they looked for pretty much the entire 32 minutes.
Well, most of your classic Logan teams, Chris, always had the go-to guy. I mean, there's a list of all-staters as long as both my arms, which aren't that long, but you know what I'm trying to say. And those teams were always successful. But they also had good role players. And, you know, you have Early, who's obviously a talent himself, but the role players tonight were very impressive. Everyone's willingness to give up the ball, even your all-star was giving the ball up when he saw the open man. So very impressed with their team effort, the teamwork they exhibit on the court, the aggressiveness, the hustle, and the ability to bounce back after a disappointing loss and not to look ahead to what's coming Tuesday. I went to school at Logan High and followed their program for a lot of years, always been keeping up with them. and I lived in Chapmanville for 20 years, so I have a lot of support for both programs, and it's something to really look forward to Tuesday night. We hope for a good game there, but for Logan, excellent bounce-back win.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's step aside for one more quick break. We'll be back in 60 seconds, and when we come back, we'll have our players of the game here on WVOW and on Video Production, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 60 seconds to say our goodbyes here from Willie Acres Arena. Logan wins at 66-44. You're watching and listening to Logan Wildcat basketball action right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Production.
Drive home your new Mitsubishi for less with special pricing for everyone on remaining 2019 models. Get in with last call savings on brand new Mitsubishi models as low as $11,115, like this 2019 Mirage G4, over $8,000 in total savings.
Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services, founded in 1975 by Riley Joe Evans, is a full-service funeral provider, and 2020 makes it 45 years of offering services that respect all faiths, personal preferences, and financial considerations. They're the only funeral home in Boone, Lincoln, and Logan with its own crematory. Contact Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services at 304-855-3232 or visit www.evans-funeral-home.com or like Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services on Facebook to see their updated obituary information.
The adventure starts now. Go Thornhill and drive home a brand new Mitsubishi SUV today with ultimate savings on 2019 Outlander, $9,700 off, and 2019 Outlander PHEV, $8,400 off. New SUVs waiting for you. Thornhill Mitsubishi has what you're looking for.
Welcome back, everybody. Final segment here from Willie Acres Arena as Logan defeats Parkersburg Catholic 66-44. Chris Kidd and Danny Kidd here with you. And Logan now winners of 9 of their last 10. And it was helped greatly tonight by the scoring of David Early, as he is our temp control hot hand of the game, brought to you by Temp Control of Chapmanville. And tonight it is, scratch that for a second. I apologize. Joe was giving me a look out of the corner of his eye like, this is not what we discussed during break. Okay, yes. Let's fix it. Okay, rewind. All right. Time now for our Temp Control hot hand of the game, brought to you by Temp Control of Chapmanville. And while David Early did have a hot game with 35, we're going to get to him in a second, I promise. But Garrett Williamson tonight, we all agreed on him as well. And he had a phenomenal game, hit 3 floaters in the paint that really helped get Logan going early on whenever they were struggling in the first quarter. Then hit a big 3 in the second half. Ended up with 14 points here tonight. Did Garrett Williamson, split it up, 7 in the first half, 7 in the second half. Great contribution for Garrett Williamson. If Logan gets that out of any of their key contributors, that is a huge plus for them in their offense. So tonight's hot hand, brought to you by Temp Control of Chapmanville, goes to Garrett Williamson. And this winter, if you want your home to be as comfortable as possible, call Stuart Trickler and Roland Mullins at Temp Control of Chapmanville at 304-855-5200. And Danny, you even said at one point that you were very impressed with how well Garrett Williamson played tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, showed a great touch, and at a critical point of the game, as you just mentioned, Chris, he took over a little bit in the lane, hit some floaters that kind of kept Logan afloat, and you need that sometimes from somebody else to get the game rolling, and he did that, and he's certainly deserving of the comments you made for him as well.
Well, now let's get to our Farmer Klein and Campbell Award winner here on Video Productions. Don't you smile like that at me, Joe. It does go to David Early here again. 35 points on the evening, 68 points in back-to-back nights for this young man. At 33 against Wesley Christian, 35 tonight. Just another dominant performance by one of, if not the top player in all of West Virginia, as he has just been lights out here the last several weeks. And I think committing to Marshall as well maybe has lifted a burden off of him with a lot of that pressure on where to go, who you're talking to, who's going to be the team. And, once he signed that, or didn't sign anything, but once he verbally committed to that, I think it probably did alleviate a lot of pressure off him, and now he can just enjoy playing ball the rest of the year.
And he certainly looked like he was free and easy tonight, because I'll tell you what, that was the quietest 35 points I've seen in a long time. He was consistent in all 4 quarters. And again, the supporting cast is a little bit more than that. Those boys can play ball too, and you put them all together, it's a mix for success. And as we discussed, big game coming up. We'll see how that plays out in a couple of days.
And you mentioned that big game. It will be on Tuesday night. Again, Logan will head to Chapmanville at Danny Gobby Gymnasium. Chapmanville just now tipping off against Winfield down there. Again, that's where I'll be on my way to join James Barker here maybe the next 20-25 minutes. So if you didn't get enough of me here on WVOW and Video Productions, then you'll get a little bit more of me on Video Productions coming up with WVOW there in tow as well. And, you know, Logan stunned the high school basketball world, ended Chapmanville's 52-game winning streak against in-state opponents. Didn't just beat them down, really, in that last game. I mean, they held a 20-point lead on Chapmanville at one point in that game, and Chapmanville could not get close at any stretch. Again, they had a little run there late in the fourth quarter, but by then it was too little too late, and Logan just dominated play in that game. And Chapmanville was definitely not happy after that game. You know, you had Philip Mullins that went right back to the gym down at Chapmanville and started shooting shots after the game. I saw them the next game against Polka. They were very focused coming out, no laughing, no joking. They were ready to go back to work, and that's what they've been talking about ever since that game ended was, you know, how do we come back against Logan, you know, after that tough loss. And a lot of people are curious, was that a fluke? Was that something that is Logan really that good? I can't tell you how many times I got asked that after that game, and I said, you know, Logan's really good. And I said, doesn't mean Chapmanville's not really good, but Logan's really good too. And, you know, I think a lot of people weren't aware of how good they were. Now people might expect it. So it is going to be a really interesting measuring stick game, because if Logan can do that again down at Chapmanville, now I think the state's going to reevaluate where those two teams are. But if Chapmanville comes out and is able to reestablish that they may be the top team in Class AA, I mean, there's just a lot at stake on Tuesday night, even though it's just a regular season game.
I assure you that Chapmanville has taken notice of that game and what happened. And what you said, Chris, they came out the next game, they were focused, they were ready to play. Sometimes, you know, Chapmanville's just a tremendous team. Let's just be honest, they are super. And it's going. I think it's going to be, like you said, a measuring stick for both teams. I think it will be, in my opinion, a very well-fought game. It's going to be a tough one. I don't know. I just don't know if anybody's going to blow anybody out. But I'll tell you, Chapmanville's going to be ready for that one. I assure you.
You'll want to be with me and James Barker on Tuesday night for the call of that game. Again, we'll get things started at 7:20 with the pregame show, 7:30 with the tip between Logan and Chapmanville from Danny Gobby Gymnasium. And before we go, the biggest pick of all, who's winning tomorrow? Super Bowl 54. Who's walking out of there with a trophy?
I am absolutely wanting the Chiefs to win that game, but I have a bad feeling that the 49ers defense is going to be a little too tough, and I'm actually picking the Niners by as many as 12.
Ooh, interesting. I've heard one-score games all week. Danny Kidd going with the two-score win for the Niners. Try and get 6 Super Bowls. I'm like you. I think it's going to be a good game. I think in the end, maybe 28-24 San Francisco might be my pick. So if we come on the air Tuesday and it's Kansas City at 1, I'll change that pick then.
Well, I'm old. I've been around a long time. I've watched a lot of Super Bowls, and it always seems like a really good defense can control a really good offense.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's what I'm looking at.
And again, that's been mostly the case in Super Bowls, but either way, we hope it's a fun one tomorrow. We hope you enjoy yourselves with it, and it was fun being on the call with you tonight, Dad. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to go back and call you Dad now.
Oh, no, not that. Yeah, if we get Brian on here with us, all three of us at once, we'd just be kidding around, wouldn't we?
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
Well, again, it was a pleasure doing the game with you tonight, and hopefully we get to do it again soon as Logan wins it tonight over Parkersburg Catholic 66-44. As for Joe Mounts on Video Productions and Aaron Stone, our cameraman, along with Terry Bucklew back in the WVOW studios, Danny Kidd next to me, I'm Chris Kidd saying so long tonight from Willie Acres Arena, as you have been listening to and watching Logan Wildcat basketball action with us right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.